Eruption of a volcano can be explosive and non-explosive as long as there's material coming out of the crater or a vent or a fissure. So if the activity involves explosion, that eruption is called explosive eruption. But if the activity is just simply issuing out of magma quietly out of the crater, that is an eruption, but that is a non-explosive eruption. So lahat po ng explosion, eruption na rin po yan.
So it's accurate to say na Taal Volcano has erupted already?
Correct. That is the correct term. But the eruption of Taal Volcano has different styles. So at 1 o'clock, the eruption of Taal Volcano was essentially steam blast eruption, where the groundwater was boiled and the groundwater was converted to steam and there was pressure, it exploded. Later in the day, when magma suddenly rose, then the boiling of the groundwater at Taal Lake was still continuing, but the magma, the upper part of the magma column below the ground was exploding. So there was a mixture of steam and new material. And by early morning today, we saw purely magma being erupted out of the volcano. So there were many styles. However, we really haven't seen the worst case eruptive style of the volcano, where aside from venting materials vertically, there are cases like in 1965, 1911, and 1764, where the explosion be somewhat lateral, and volcanic fragments can travel at speeds of more than 60 kilometers per hour across Taal Lake and reach the mainland villages.
Wow.
So that's the worst case eruption, and that is what our alert system for Taal Volcano is geared for. Because if it's just simply vertical, you have evacuated people from the volcano island, you're already okay. However, there are threats that can happen during the major eruptions of Taal that can affect more people on the mainland.
So you're not ruling out that this can happen at this time, this lateral eruption?
Yes, we cannot. We cannot. And essentially, that would still continue as a threat as long as magma is ascending towards the crater.
Can you issue, meron bang signs nun? Can you issue warnings, timely warnings about it, if it's going to happen?
We actually have issued the warning of that possibility already by raising it to alert level 4. Now, the timing though is dependent on how fast the magma would move up. So if we notice a lot of volcanic earthquakes that becoming stronger, then which we have seen already since last night, then there is a possibility that larger eruption can happen. And so as a precaution, we have to evacuate people as far as 14 kilometers away from the crater.
Yusek, si Lucy Valdez. Sir,
yes, Lucy.
Sir, ang tanong po ng marami is the eruption of Taal anything, or is it possible that it would be as bad as Pinatubo, or is there any kind of comparison that we can draw between the two?
Well, the explosion of Pinatubo in 91 was one of the smallest eruptions of Pinatubo. There were larger eruptions of Pinatubo. We don't think that at this activity, it can be a very, very large volume of eruption like Pinatubo. However, the big difference between Pinatubo and Taal is that people in Pinatubo are further away from the crater, down the slope. But in Taal, people are inside and very near the crater, so the danger related to Taal's activity is higher than the danger of Pinatubo's activity because of the nearness of people living in the area.
I see. And what about in terms of, say, the pyroclastic material, the volume of lahar, and so on and so forth?
In terms of the pyroclastic flow that we saw in Pinatubo, rolling down the slopes down to a distance of 14 kilometers, it's understandable because Pinatubo is high. Anything thrown up will go down vertically and down slope. The problem with Taal Volcano is it's not very tall, so it cannot happen that way that when you try to throw rocks up vertically, they will fall down. They will not run very far. That will be only in the island. It produces somewhat laterally directed eruption, and that would propel the pyroclastic deposit horizontally moving away from Taal and crossing the lake. And that is very, very dangerous.
All right.
More dangerous than the Pinatubo event, simply because people are already on the edge of the lake up
Yes.
to the mid-slope of the ridge towards Tagaytay. But we don't think Tagaytay will be affected by that kind of scenario. It will be affected by asphalt, however.